Check, mic check, 1 2 1 2. I'm late, but I'm still great. Don't hate, just wait for me to skate down your way. With something else to say. TikTok while it's just us, I appreciate this platform and the chance to use it to connect with like-minded individuals. With that said, TikTok, we gonna use this platform to educate, edify, and uplift. You know what I'm saying? In light of they got it's Christian bias going on. This is Bible deconstruction, and so they claim it's bias against Christianity happening, and they putting the 10 Commandments back in the schools and reading it and all this old good stuff. So yeah, man, let's get into it. We're gonna break this spell. Peace to the gods and to the goddesses, to the queens and to the kings and to the soul tribe. Peace and light and love and good energy, good vibration, good health, abundance on you and yours, on your kingdom, on your clan, on your family. This is the people's life for the people. People empowering other people lifts everyone. This is the people's life. This is a daily reminder that it is still the present. Don't get mad at me because you called it Monday. I do not venerate celestial bodies, the moon, or the personification of them. For me, it is still the present. And that's where we coming at it today. Man, my people are under a spell. The spell is called God, G-O-D. And based on how this word is spelled, determines your understanding of it. And if the G is capital, you suspend all analytical thought, and to you, this represents a character outside of what you call space and time, a male character, a male figure that you attribute omnipotence and omniscience to. But that is not what the word means. And that's what this whole discussion today is about, the word God. The title is etymology and its function. This entire discussion is based on it. And when we break it down based on this etymology and we understand the principles being described according to how we experience it and not how it's spelled, then we're going to ask the question, who sprinkled the spook on the concept? If somebody came and sprinkled spook on the concept, we're going to take all the spook off that title and just look at it for what it means, based on the experience of the principles that it is described to represent. But before we do any of that, I said it's still the present, and I want to share with you this vantage point before I begin. Because what I'm about to share with you, if you take the time to stop and listen and think about what I'm saying, is true for everybody that can see and hear me. It is absolutely true what I'm about to say. It is not subjective, it is objective truth. When I say it is still the present, I choose to see this present that I am currently experiencing, that I went to sleep in and woke up to and still am currently in. I choose to see it as a gift. The reason is because I did not receive it because of anything I did, right or good or holy, or doctrine I believed in, ritual I performed, prayer I said in the right name. I arrived at the present by way of my mother I was born, and it was an extension of goodness, grace, that I am here. So for this reason, I choose to see this present as a gift. And then when I compare this present to any other gift, and to my knowledge, I owe nothing for it, and I did not pay for it. So this is why I consider the present a gift. Again, don't get mad at me because you attribute the present to the moon. I came into the present by way of my mother. If I were to venerate anybody, but let me not get ahead of myself. Also, compared to any other gift I have ever received, this gift, this present that I'm currently experiencing is always a new one. Each moment, and you know, moments can't be measured, but each moment of this present is new. Compared to any other gift that get old or lost, I consider this a miraculous thing. Even if you call it Tuesday, it's a new Tuesday. Monday. It's a new Monday. And every Monday that we experience is a new one. This is the third dimension. And then we get into space and time, the fourth dimension. But we can't draw space and time really, but we experience it from here. We call that the fourth dimension, the conscious mind, where we experience the phenomenon of what we call space and time. But then there is a fifth dimension, the subconscious, where the laws of physics do not apply. And you cannot be in your conscious physical self in this dimension, the subconscious fifth dimension. The laws of the physics, times, up and down, none of this applies here. It's called the fifth dimension. But it's a cycle still, because you go from your conscious mind to your subconscious mind, back to your conscious mind. And this is done in cycles, periodically. Knowledge is born and it grows like any baby. It reaches its full height, goes into the season of bearing fruit and reaping the fruit that it bore, and then you begin to forget what you knew, don't you? You got that right there, but you start forgetting why you put that right there. Huh? But you put it right there for a reason, but over time, over the years, why it was put right there is forgotten. And so knowledge has its course. Knowledge is born and it grows and it bears its fruit, has children, gets married, and all that old good stuff. It grows. But the present, though, is what I'm talking about, and where we experience it is called now. That's the when of it. And when this now, because it's always now, we can't measure this when. It's outside of time. Now is outside of your means to measure, because it's always now. That means eternal. So eventually you're going to run out of ways to symbolize the next number. Won't you? What you going to do? The billions and the trillions and the gazillions and the... Won't you? What you going to do? The billions and the trillions and the gazillions and the... 50 million. You're going to run out of ways to express the next Yeah, you can't measure it. It's outside of the means to be measured. This is the win of the present, this miraculous gift. That's all I'm talking about is the present, none spooky. Don't need it. It's already miraculous and amazing as it is, ain't it? And then we talk about the where of the experience, this location, this dimension. When we was talking about the fourth and fifth dimension, here. Yeah, we always here, and it's always now. And just like the when of it, the here of it, here and now, it can't be measured either, huh? Feet, what you gonna do? Miles, how you gonna measure it? Let's hear. This space that you travel in, and then you get into that space where you turn a corner. You travel in, and then you get into that space where you turn a corner, and you in a whole nother world. Here, you might be in another body, in that subconscious, the experience of this it's the same sphere. It's just now you going beyond where you see it with your eyes. You're in a place now where you experience this in cycles, circles. That's where we started from, no dot. The present. I don't need to sprinkle no spook on it. Who came and sprinkled the spook on it is what I'm trying to get to in this discussion. Because we're just looking at the present for what it is, and I'm saying I choose to see the present as a miraculous gift, and I can tell you where I got it from, where I came and how I arrived at the present. I can point you to it. This is objective truth. None spooky. Everybody has the same experience. I don't care what you believe, what time you think it is, it's still the present. And I don't care who you call on, you still came into this realm, this present, by way of your mother. Everybody. This is objective truth. Don't get mad at me because you don't think it means nothing. Man, I don't got nothing to do with how you perceive reality. But I know before you got whatever God you worship, you had mama. And she represented the seat of authority, the most high. It was nothing beyond that. What mama said went, ain't it? Yes, it is. This is objective truth across the board. Tell me when I started lying. It was a source. She was a source of food, comfort, instruction. Don't get mad at me because you don't. And she did not have to go outside of herself to feed you. She could feed you from within herself. Your daddy can feed you, but he have to go outside himself to do so. He would have to get her milk or give you to her so you can get fed. Again, don't get mad at me because you don't understand that means something, and you only can read spells because you can't read signs because the people that put you under the spell told you reading signs was evil. And you only looked at reading the stars in the sky as the signs to read, but the lights are your people, the souls. That's what the lights are. That's your people that you read. But you don't know how to read. They don't teach slaves how to read. So you were given spells. We're going to help you break that spell today. So the word God, trigger warning to you if your understanding of the word God is based on your belief in a character and not its etymology. This may not be a safe space for your mind. You could end up having an existential crisis if you are not ready to question your belief system. I have no interest in being agreed with or considered right according to your doctrine or what you call good. Or I have zero interest. I could not care any less what you call right or agree with, call right or agree with based on your belief or interpretation. This is Bible deconstruction. This is breaking the spell of Christianity. You are under a spell. So let's help you. Let's help you understand the spelling of it, because that's what your understanding is based on, right? Whether or not the G, the seventh letter of the alphabet, is capitalized, and this represents the cap on your mind as well, your state capital, as you would the seat of your authority. But you remember what was the seat of authority. Look at the picture before you put whatever God you stuck in there, based on experience, not a spell. So let's look at this word that you got, that you believe in. And then let's look at the word that you was given, that you can know in your experience, and teach you how to read them so that you can break the spell that you under and remember how to read the signs you were given. Who gave them to you? Before the spell. In your own life, I'm going to help you understand what the word God means. So it comes from a Hebrew word that means, it's called the Elohim, E-L. They got it from the Canaanites, Ugaritic God, El, and it means the mighty ones. Your Bible, it speaks of a couple of mighty ones individually. One of them came down in Revelation chapter 10, and Nimrod, the hunter, he's described as a mighty one. And Israel, he who struggles with a mighty one. That's what God means. The mighty ones is a plural word. We not put no spook on it. We not put no doctrine on it. Just telling you what it means. And see, of the mighty ones, the might of them is their knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. And the mighty ones, El, is a title. And the mighty ones, they function, they operate as a kingdom. And the mighty ones, they function, they operate as a kingdom. In this kingdom, it runs as a priesthood, far as what you understand. Because there is a go between the elders in this kingdom and the world, or those who are not, the aliens, the foreigners. This is what Elohim means, this kingdom. And of the Elohim, the mighty ones, and remember their might is knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. Among them, this kingdom is said to be an eternal one. Let's go into the science of it. Let's go into because we taking the spook off of it. That's all we doing. Because we keep running into this concept always and forever and eternal. That means no beginning, no end. That is what eternal means. No spook on it, none needed. It's a miraculous concept in and of itself. And it just so happens science say energy, there go that G again, cannot be created or destroyed. Energy. Pyramid, the fire within, lined up with the constellation. Energy is always, has always, does always manifest as matter. Mother. What principle? The feminine, the divine feminine principle that is represented or described based on the experience of the principle, and that is mother, because knowledge is born. Because we're talking forever, right? Okay, so based on the experience, how did you get here? All right, and how did your mother and father, how did your mothers and fathers get here? Okay, now keep going back, and each step back you go, you notice you go higher. You have to go from 2 times great to 3 times great to 4 times great to 5 times great. Did I say that eventually you're going to run out of numbers or symbols or ways to express the greatness of your mothers and fathers? There's nothing spooky about it, though, is it? Who sprinkled the spook on it? Look at the picture. I got him up there for a reason, nigga. Who sprinkled the spook on it? You think do you think it's a coincidence that the dragon and the serpent and the virgin and Jesus and the 12 disciples, Israel and the 12 tribes all match up with the constellations? Abraham and his ram, Moses and his bulls, Jesus and his fish, John and his dragon and his serpent. These are constellations. You think it's a coincidence that they got 88 of them? Have you looked into the symbolic meaning of 88? I said you're under a spell. I'm not playing with you. Your entire perception of reality is based on a book you have zero understanding of. And your fear. So they tell you a story, the story that they say came to them because a being came out of the sky onto a mountain. Came to them because a being came out of the sky onto a mountain and told this to Moses. This creation narrative that we always busting down. This is the beginning of it all. And then you find out that these stories were written during the time when these people were in Babylonian captivity. Back to Nimrod, back to the mighty ones we go. And when you get to Babylon and the Akkadians and Mesopotamia and Egypt, what you get is people that had knowledge of the stars. And their wisdom culture, the way that they describe their knowledge of the stars, was transmitted by way of stories. So when we talk about the sons of God mating with the children the daughters of men. What we're talking about is a time when men began to personify the sun, moon, and stars and claim that their lineage came from them, that their knowledge came from them, but they had forgotten. These were ancient symbols, and we weren't claiming that our knowledge came from them. We were demonstrating what we had become aware of from here and observation, the science of it. But the people forgot the science. The symbols were remembered and kept because they were placed in places where they could be. But the science was forgotten. The knowledge was forgotten. That's why you have a belief, knowledge. And in the kingdom, the knowledge, that's the light. That's the might of the mighty ones. Knowledge, not belief. Doctrine for the religion. The kingdom that we describing is not a religion. It's a family. It's a family unit. It's how this family operate. It's the observations and knowledge and wisdom and understanding that came from these people. But let me help you understand something about the picture I got on here. Because see, violence is you don't have to be intelligent and you don't have to have any knowledge to be violent. You just have to be willing to kill everything that breathe and bash baby's head against the stones to take people's stuff. But you don't have to necessarily be intelligent. As a matter of fact, people that are intelligent and wise and have knowledge, their kingdoms and their societies will flourish because of the peace that they have. And that is spread amongst the population. So you have dynasties and kingdoms that lasted thousands of years. Represent peace. But when you're dealing with usurpers, imposters, what their claim to fame is their willingness to commit atrocities, extreme violence. You don't have to be smart to do that. But you can come into a whole lot of knowledge like that. And claim it came from you. And the story of the Hebrews tells exactly that story. Some people that were very, very violent and would commit genocide and atrocities in the name of their God, and came across knowledge and wisdom and understanding in the cultures that they vilified. The sons of Ham is where they got it. The sons of Ham are Mizraim, Egypt, Cush. And then also the sons of Ham deal with Nimrod, and Babylon, and Assyria. And see, the Assyrians and the Babylonians and the Egyptians, Mizraim, are who dominated the so-called Hebrews and had them in exile. Remember? And the book, written in hindsight, is telling you why they don't like these people. But these people, and then in these people's land, is where the Hebrews came into their knowledge. By the time that the Hebrews came into the knowledge, it was already ancient. And I mean by thousands of years. By the time the people who called themselves Hebrews got it. That's why I understand why people look like you and me run around trying to prove that they came from, you don't even know what Hebrew mean. Hebrew mean one who transits, one from the other side, or one who deduces to look at things from outside of what Hebrew mean. And it don't have nothing to do with your skin or your ethnicity. Just like Israel is not an ethnic group or geographical location. It is a state of being, a state of mind, and it does represent a state of struggle. Jerusalem, Salem, the capital, they represent the foundation or state of peace. These are mental states. We're dealing with the Most High, right? And so we apply the Most High application to every principle. When we talk about the location and how we navigate this space. The fourth and the fifth dimension, man, we got the right side or the east side is from what we know. That's where the sun rises in here, from the east, from what you know. Knowledge is light, remember? We'll take our time because we just looking at no beginning, no end, but it's a principle, and it's a masculine principle. But the manifestation of it, so that you can see it, is female. Because we're talking about no beginning, no end. Energy cannot be created or destroyed. It has always manifested as matter. E equals mc squared. Energy equals mass times the speed of light squared. Energy is mass. Mass is matter, mother. It everything lie. It's nothing spooky about it, but somebody sprinkles spook on it. Look at the picture. Because one, we dealing with a matriarchy, and another, we dealing with a patriarchy. One is spread in peace through childbearing and marriage. The other is spread through war and confusion, keeping the people ignorant. Because see, one kingdom, because the people had knowledge, and this is the culture of the people, they built, and what they built represented what they knew. And the intention was to leave behind a legacy so that the descendants would know and remember. Knowledge grows. Knowledge grows. The book say it was a time when the whole world was connected and then the earth split. So you just have to be real silly to think there were no melanated people in the Americas before 1492. You just believe anything Master tell you. If you put it in a book, that's it. You don't got to think about it no more. Master said it wasn't no melanated people in the Americas before 1492. Then we show you this picture right here. Look close. Blow it up if you need to. What them people look like. Them Spanish conquistadors. They showing you what they did to the people that they showing you what they did to the people that they found when they got here. Nobody called themselves black until the Europeans came and invented the term to apply to people. That's the lowest denominator. That's the lowest way to identify oneself. Black or white. That's stupid and silly. And why we let these people name and label us, I don't know. But now you don't get to tell me who or what I am. Hell, you mean I don't know who you think you are, but you don't get to tell me who I am. Yeah, I don't care how many languages you speak or degrees that you hold. So what? You still don't get to tell me who I am. Yeah, that part. So as we look at it, man, even if you want to say everybody, all melanated people came from Africa, you're going to say that there were no melanated people in the Americas before 1492, and we've been here since forever? Since before the earth split, we've been here? You got to be silly. You just got to be silly. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man, you ain't never thought about nothing beyond what them people told you. Yeah, man, but that's all right. I understand. Yeah, you ain't thought about nothing. And it shows. That's why you sit in front of people with a straight face talking about talking snakes with a straight face to an adult and think we supposed to believe it. Man. So we breaking the spell, right? The mighty ones, your elders. So let's look at the 4 L's. Let's look at them. The 4 letters, the tetragrammaton that all the smart dummies like to holler about Yahweh and Yahuwah. Y'all is some smart dummies. Can I just be plain? See, these people held up these degrees on you, right? And they spoke with authority like they really knew what the fuck they was talking about. And got you singing and dancing with it too. Oh man, they know a couple languages. Don't let them go to speaking in another language on you. So that means they really know they shit. All of it to explain how a talking snake is real. It's just a coincidence that you have a constellation called serpent, and you have the Virgo, the sign, the Virgin, right below it. And above them, you have the constellation Draco, the dragon. It's just a coincidence. Jonah, representing the sun, gets swallowed by the big fish, the sun in Pisces. And then you, right before the introduction of Jesus, the sun in Pisces. It's just a coincidence that the birth of Jesus coincide with the sun's transition back towards the equinox and the spring in its highest point. It's just a coincidence. But we not saying that they was worshiping the sun, moon, and stars. We saying that they had observed the sun, moon, and stars and their paths, and this is how they remembered and put down the information that they observe. And it was never nothing spooky about it, ever. But some people who are very violent and very greedy and deceitful came across this knowledge and claimed it to be theirs and taught it to you based on how they understand it. And they claim the fame is their violence. They tell you that in their book. They kill everything they breathe and call it good and right. They enslave in the name of the Lord. And when it comes to slavery, it's not one verse in that book that say, masters, let your slaves go. Not one verse. Because what you're giving is a worldview from the perspective of very violent, genocidal, deceitful, ignorant people. You know it. You know the tree by its fruit. When they got a hold of this knowledge, they went to war with it. Melchizedek, Salem mean peace. He's in a state of peace, literally. He's a Canaanite. He's in Canaan. When Abraham get this game, and the story of Abraham and Isaac represent Isaac's initiation into the mysteries. That's why it always go like that, including your baptism, but the meaning of this ritual was lost. And you were given a meaning. And you were given a meaning from the people who stole it. So it say it represent them and their knowledge. That's why the God that you got look like them. They have no clue what this stuff meant. That's why they had to tell you it's based on belief. You gotta believe it. We don't know nothing. We stole it. They resort to threats. If you don't believe it, you're going to hell. How about that? They not explaining nothing. They ain't got no wisdom. They ain't got no understanding. They got some divine knowledge. They got it. They got it. But man, look at the picture. Understand how they got it. See, they took our virtues the way that we are peaceful and trusting. Yeah, our virtues became our vices. You took advantage of your peaceful nature. You very wise. You know a whole lot, but you're peaceful by nature. Let me tell you a story. Man, I went on a sabbatical, man. I just went and took off. Lived in my car for about 30 days. It just happened to be Ramadan when I did it. And I got to a point, I just drove till I just drive till I couldn't drive no more. Just out there. And I end up at a gas station out of gas. I say, man, I'm gonna have to go on and ask somebody, man, and panhandle. I got my peace. I keep me some peace with me, man. You know I'm always at peace. Yeah, you looking for me, that's where I'm at. Yeah, I'm at peace while I'm doing this here. And the dude, he started making fun. He pull up in the Benz, young brother. He make fun of me. And I'm like I say, you know, I'm at peace at the time. Hands in my pocket. And I'm close to the freeway because it's just how I move. If I post up when I'm out of pocket, man, it's going to be near a highway. You know. And all I have to do is be of the mind. And all this is all mine. Everything. Give me everything then. Hey man, this comes from somebody done 10 years in TDC for ag uh grobbery. We'll call it grobbery. You understand me? Yeah, me in real life. And I got it. And you talking shit. But you know, I say, man, appreciate it, man. My nature ain't the same like man. Man. You know what? I appreciate you, bro. You be safe. And it was a young lady turned around, gave me $10. Here you go. But if my nature, if my nature was different, and what if he had to have some books in that car, something he had wrote, came up with, and figured out, and he done wrote it down and recorded, and he got it in. I got the car and the books and the knowledge, and it's mine now. I get to say it's mine. If that's my nature, I can get away with it. All I gotta do is be able to get away with it. I don't gotta know nothing. Just depend on my nature. So you're dealing with some people that had a nature that when they came across some peaceful people that had a whole lot of knowledge and was living large and doing their thug thizzle, but they wasn't violent. Man, here we go. Do this mean that so now they get to say they invented this and they came up with this and they found this and they was the ones that came up with this, that, and the third. Or else. Or else. Because they killed everybody else and burnt everything else. They'll say different. You just have to be incredibly violent. I mean, brutal. That's all you got to be. And then they get to play it off and pretend to be, the picture of civility and sophistication. But this is just how they dress up the savagery and violence and deceit. Make it look good, make it pretty. To justify it. So let's take our time and help you understand why you got such confusion about the information in this book. All right, when you got the book, you got taught it from the gospel, the ghost spell. The institution that you came into, I need you to look at this picture. I need you to understand it's a spell book, and it's the way that this spell is cast. It's the way that this magic is practiced. So this is how they do it. To get the book is called the ghost spell, the gospel. They got 4 of them. And they teach you the book from the ghost spell. But what you don't understand is they are teaching you the book backwards. Because this is how you work the spell. It's how you worship the adversary or imitate the enemy by doing stuff out of order. So they tell you, though, because they got to put it in your face. Hey, man, we gospel first. Why do you think they emphasizing to you that they gospel first? You gonna get the gospel in here. Why you think they do that? Because they got to put it in your face. Now, where they gonna teach you this gospel from? Let me show you. Let me get the book. They're going to teach you the gospel from this book right here. In the gospel, let me show you where it starts. Man, it starts way. I'm talking about way. Man, you done went over 1,000 pages in. This is your starting point of your understanding of this book. Let me tell you something. There is no book on this earth that you're going to be able to understand from reading it backwards. Now let's help you understand how to read in Hebrew, how to read from right. Now let's help you understand how to read in Hebrew, how to read from right. It don't have nothing to do with alphabets or spells. It have to do with understanding. So you got taught to go spell, but the story is of an immaculate conception. Right? Ain't it? A virgin mother. I know where the ghost spell lives in the book, and I know what they told you the ghost spell is. But I'm saying the story is of an immaculate conception, right? And where do that start? Do it start in the book? Where were you conceived of? Where does conception begin? In a book? We say knowledge is born. Where is it born from? Is the mother a virgin? The constellation, Virgo. She represents the harvest. You know, you reap what you sow. Her children. Well, you know wisdom is justified of her children. You know that, right? This immaculate conception, the question is, do it start in the ghost spell? Do it come from the ghost spell? Or do it start in the kingdom? You was conceived of. You were. I was. We were conceived. Right? As far as this character that you believe in goes, hey man, you know, his existence is still in dispute. But as far as you and I go, existence is still in dispute. But as far as you and I go, that's not. I know I am. If I don't know nothing else, I know I am. Catch it if you can. And what I'm saying is I was conceived of. I was thought of before I arrived here in the physical flesh. Ain't that where conception start? We talking about a kingdom, and we talking about creating from a king. Ain't no baby mamas and baby daddies in the kingdom. It's done on purpose, with intent. This is the heavens, and this is the earth. We develop here at first. And we are all born. I'm saying the conception, though, if we dealing with things done in order, or what we call a kingdom, a family, then the child is thought of first. Because this how the kingdom expand. It's a family, remember? And it's expanding in peace, not war. So that means knowledge, wisdom, and understanding is required, not weapons. When you get your weapons, you're dealing with the absence of wisdom and understanding. Let's take our time though. So if the story is of an immaculate conception, then they say Jesus is the image, the express image of God, of the mighty ones, right? Let us make man in our image, in our likeness, and let them rule. We're gonna talk about the mighty ones that function as a kingdom that's eternal. That means these people been here before time, what you know of as time, ever since energy that is matter manifested as people, they've been here. These principles have been in play before the awareness of these principles were expressed. And we're showing and demonstrating the observation coming into awareness of these principles that's already in play, been in play. No beginning, no end, remember? So if everything is being created from the kingdom and the kingdom is within you, and the kingdom is within you, if everything in the beginning, the mighty ones created the heavens and the earth, and everything is being created from the kingdom, and the kingdom is within you. We saying we always been here. So what do it mean when they say created the heavens and the earth? We started naming stuff, my nigga. We started naming. When we named it, then that's what it was. We created it. We ain't saying it wasn't already there. But we talking about when we started naming this stuff. We the ones that named it. Because we observed it and recognized, see, when you name stuff, the second definition of Elohim, the mighty ones, is the powers. And the powers is the ability to define phenomena and make it act in a desired matter. So once you observe the phenomenon long enough, you understand how it functions. You can name it. You say, this is what this is. I'm going to give it this name, and I can describe how it functions. It's like you are exercising power over it because you know how it's going to move. You can predict, yeah, I know based on observation that this thing going to bear fruit again in so many moons. What is this thing? It's a tree. I'm going to call this a tree. And now I just created a tree. Because of my knowledge. My knowledge came from observation. And what I observe is cycles. And that cycle is a circle. That circle is 360 degrees. What I'm observing is Mother Nature in her cycles. This is the wisdom. This is divine wisdom. And wisdom is knowledge, divine knowledge applied. She is how the Father, the unseen, the no beginning, no end. That's what it looked like. It looked like winter, spring, summer, fall. Winter, spring, summer, fall. The four letters, the four L's, 90 degrees. 90 times 4 is 360 degrees. The four L's, the four letters, Elohim, elders. They kicking game and helping you understand this square that we are. Listen, your answers is showing you that they was deep off in it. And the people that stole it, they ain't got this understanding. They have to get it from Dr. Scholar such and such. It don't come to them from in here. And they don't have the patience or humility to get it from the source. but they do have the willingness and the savagery to take it, lie about it. That they will do. And it's hard for my people to get this because of our nature. That we are giving, we are open, we are peaceful. We can't even wrap our mind around the level of violence and deceit every time. It's like my people, they amazed. I can't believe when they start discovering how deep the rabbit hole is with the deception. You want an explanation for it, and we trying to help you understand the principle of chaos. And there is no explanation. That's why it's called chaos. There's no reason for it. It defies reason. That's why it is called darkness. It is an attribute of darkness at the lowest level. Because there's levels to everything. And darkness is not called bad, it's called night. The absence of light, no light. But it's not called bad or evil. It's a lot of spook been sprinkled on these concepts again, because you got the game backwards. So let's back to the mighty ones, this kingdom. So when we say this kingdom operate as a priesthood, what we saying is that these people see their family as their religion. It's built in. The elders and the ancestors are the gods, are the mighty ones, are the Elohim. And their sons and the daughters, these are the priests of this kingdom. It's a matriarchy too. I'm gonna pause. It's a matriarchy too. So we dealing with, when they say let us make man, a lot of people think that this is talking about Adam and Eve, but that's not what the Bible said. It says, let us make man in our image, in our likeness, and let them have dominion. Let them rule. And if we're talking about a kingdom that's eternal, that means these people been here, that function as a priesthood, then who, the man that they made, and that male and female, and it's them, do you think that they started digging in the dirt to make them? They started having babies? Or they started teaching people? The people that was already here but didn't know what they know. We talking about the kingdom, and the kingdom spread in peace, and it spread in peace in two ways: through childbirth and marriage. And if it's done in order, the wife is the mother. You make her a wife and a mother at the same time. She is a mother. And the child that's born, this is how the kingdom is spread. The families that interact, me and you cool, I got the game, I give you the game. Your kids marry my kids. The family just got bigger. The family is a kingdom. And we just spread in peace. This is what we mean by matriarchy. It includes the wisdom and understanding. When you exclude with mother and daughter, the absence of mother is confusion. The absence of understanding is ignorance. And the fruit of it is war. So one side of the picture, you see peace. The mother is the throne. A lot of Christians don't understand this. The mother that you see in the picture is the seat of authority. She represents the throne. And the one seated on the throne, her son, is God. But mother represents the Most High. And her son is a mighty one. You get it? Why? Because of what he knows. His might is his light, and his light is what he knows. And his mama taught him from within herself. And she is the Most High, taught him from within herself. And she is the Most High made manifest. Knowledge made manifest as wisdom, mother. She is how the Most High divine knowledge is perceived. This 360-degree, no beginning, no end principle, where Mother Nature is how that principle is perceived. The greater light that governs the day, that tell the sun when to rise and when to set. That light. So a lot of the Christians, though, because of the doctrine of Christianity in its origins, exclude the mother and demonize the mother. The serpent is demonized. Why is the serpent demonized? Because the serpent shed his skin and he represents renewal. Except it don't include the death part. He just rests a little bit. He ain't dead. This is divine wisdom. The serpent was a symbol of wisdom. But we're talking about wisdom from the lowest level of understanding. And wisdom at its highest level is mother, the Most High. But her son, the mother in her son in Christianity is vilified, demonized. No, it ain't. The mother and her son is man, listen, the woman is cursed and the serpent is also cursed. When it comes to the woman, she's never described as divine mother. She's described as woman. The woman was pregnant. A woman appeared with a crown on her head, and she was pregnant. It never called her mother, but that's exactly what it's describing. From being pregnant to giving birth, and her position. But when it comes to the whore, though, then you get the mother applied to the whore. That's how much they hate. They hate having to acknowledge mother so much. Listen to me, y'all. These people hate having to acknowledge mother so much that they would tell you people was made from dust before they tell you people come from mother. That's how far they'll go to exclude her in their story. His story, Adam and Eve. We're not talking about the people that's in the kingdom that operate as a priesthood in chapter 1. And the Bible never claims that it is either. It takes the lineage of Adam and Eve only. It only deals with them and their lineage. It does not talk about the people in chapter 1 from that point on. Till you pull up on Melchizedek, who operate as a kingdom that function as a priesthood. But he's a Canaanite though. So what that mean? That mean we got to get his game and then they got to go. All of them. Don't leave nobody alive that know where we got this game. And the Bible tell you the story of exactly what they did. And it tell you that their time is up. It's over. And you get to watch it happen. And what they built it on is Christianity. They built it on that. The Abrahamic religions, Judaism, Christianity, and Islam is what they built this shit out of. That's how they built it. And it's crumbling. You get it? Why the Bible trace Adam and Eve and they lineage only? You get it? But that's why I told you yesterday the 33rd verse, and I read you the 33rd verse. I tell you about the unleavened bread. So you pull up on this kingdom and this priesthood. Where else you see this kingdom that operated as a priesthood spoken of? In Revelation. Revelation is said to take place before time, before the creation narrative. And when the war and the dragon is persecuting the woman and her seed, and she's pregnant, and Michael and his angels stood up. Yeah, all this happened before the creation narrative. How long before? It don't say. But all of this happened in the kingdom, from the kingdom, that operate as a priesthood that's eternal before the beginning. That's what your book say. Not me. So before the beginning, you had a mother, queen mother, and her seed, her and her seed, according to the book, is being persecuted before the creation narrative. And then the creation narrative tell you about a story about a woman being cursed. And this serpent. We got the dragon and this woman. And her seed is being persecuted before the creation narrative. Then you get the creation narrative. You get the story. After all of this play out. According to the Bible. This mother with the crown on, that represent a queen. Where she is, heaven, that represent divine. And the fact that it's her seed that's being persecuted make it a matriarchy. Because a matriarchy is to trace the lineage through the mother's line. You know, the tree by its fruit. Only female trees bear fruit. So you know what kind of tree it is by the female tree and the fruit she bears. That's how you know how to trace the lineage of the tree. And so if it's her seed, then that means it's her lineage, and that the lineage is traced through the mother. That's a matriarchy before the beginning. And she represents wisdom, right? Now, if they take her and what she represents and reduce it down to its lowest level, what do her and her wisdom look like? Did I say a serpent represent wisdom at its lowest level? Did I say the woman and the serpent is cursed by the Lord? You think Satan called himself the devil, huh? He called himself your slave master, nigga. Lord. And it's talking about what he set up. And his setup don't include no mother. You think about the Elohim and the kingdom and the us and the lightning. Yeah, see, that's over there. And over here, ain't no mother. We'll say people was made out the dust before we say people came, that it was always a mother. So the Lord, when he dealing with what he's dealing with, is not the same. Dust and being made in the image and likeness of the Elohim is not the same at all. I mean, they are polar opposites, actually. One represents most high, the other represent the most low. One represent life in our image and our likeness. One represent light, and the other represent death. That's what dust is. It don't say dirt. It don't say soil, my nigga. It say dust. You better look up what dust is and quit playing with me. Difference between me and you is I know what dust mean. That's all. And you in cartoon land. Because they excluded the wisdom and understanding, and they telling you about the constellations. They're showing you about the constellations and how they first began to track them. When they first began to understand the connection between the inside, let there be light, and the outside. How it got passed down by generations through family trees. And then from the family tree, how order was set up from the family tree. Elohim, elder, government, fourth day. Then you have the stars that we use to transmit and symbolize and convey our knowledge. Pass it on to the generations. So the seat of the throne is the mother's lap. It's not an old man with a beard on a golden chair. The problem is you think a throne is a chair, but a throne is the seat of authority, the Most High. It represents the Most High. She, mother, literally represent the Most High. That's why it's God Most High. Baby boy, God, and mama Most High. Baby boy, let there be light. Mama, the greater light that governs the day. Crown, govern. Is anybody not following what's being said here? So they tell you the story of the ghost spell backwards, and they start from the death. They emphasize death, 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 the death, burial, and resurrection. Death, 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 death. Gotta die, death, death. They just love it. But It's actually a story of birth and rebirth. Notice they are polar opposites of one another because they telling you the story backwards. After the Immaculate Conception, that's when you start to grow head first in the sack of water, and at some point you become aware of yourself. Let there be light, and the light cut on from some point you do become aware of yourself. This awareness is light, it's consciousness, right? The firmament is called heaven. The suffix ment is mind. This is heaven. According to the book, your mind is heaven. According to the Bible, your mind is heaven. And it is outside of space and time in the experience. When you go to lay down to rest and you enter into that dream world, you are outside of space and time. When you go into your mind, period, meditate to think, you are in a dimension, a space that you cannot measure. Right? This is where knowledge is born from. And it grows. Light. It's where light comes from, right? It's where knowledge comes from, right? And the same thing is based on observation, whether you're going to observe what's outside of you or you observe what's inside of you. Either way, it's going to be some observation involved, and you're going to recognize some cycles or some circumstances that you was in before. You came back to, seen again, and learned something in that cycle. And then you saw it anew. You saw it in a new way. The snake shedding the skin. A renewal. How did the woman, so the woman get cursed? Let me help y'all understand this part of the book. In chapter 3, this is what the Christian men use with their frail egos and they just silly understanding. This is what they use to say that they the head of the household. And the Lord said, this is the woman was deceived and this, yeah. So let's look at it. First, we need to understand that there is a difference between the people in Genesis chapter 1 and Adam and Eve. The people in Genesis chapter 1 already know who and what they are. How you know? Because they made in the image and likeness of the mighty one. They look and act like them. And the mighty ones, God, operate as a kingdom. They function as a priesthood. So these people got the same game, same knowledge. Come from that. And it's an untold number of people. You got in your mind, this is Adam and Eve, and they don't know nothing. But the books say they in the image and likeness of God, and they are instructed and given every tree, every fruit, all of it. Nothing is denied these people. Then to say after that, the Elohim, the elders, the mighty ones, they rest. Just like your mighty ones and your elders, it rests right now, ain't it? Do it say they died? If you rest, don't you wake up? I mean, it do say rest. We are talking about people. We are talking about eternity, right? Eternal. What you think that look like? What you think no beginning, no end look like if it ain't a cycle? Birth and rebirth. Ain't nobody said nothing about no death. Going to sleep and waking up. Who sprinkled the spook on it? Well, you got that from where I'm finna take you to when we get to why I'm showing you the difference between these people over here that with knowledge represent the Elohim, the elders, and then people that don't know nothing think they come from dust. And the Lord that taught them that, told them they was dust. Just showing you the difference. When you look at the book in order, you got to break the spell. So when you look at the book in order, you see the Lord dealing with the dust or the dead, and he's out of order. You see, his creation is the earth and then the heavens. But the Elohim, they came mind first and then body. But the Lord is body first, dust first. It never mentions light in his creation or his work because he works in the dark. He don't work in light. It's not what he do. That's not where you find the Lord. But you saw those capital letters, didn't you? You saw how it was spelled. And you was looking at how it was spelled. You wasn't looking at the experience of it, were you? But that's how you get the meaning. That's how you read it in Hebrew from right to left. The experience is what you know, right? That's how you see and hear. But you saw with these how it was spelled in all capital letters. And they told you when you see that spell, what you're supposed to do. Believe. And belief ain't necessarily have to be based on your experience at all, does it? Matter of fact, belief don't necessarily have to have nothing. You don't never have to have experienced it to believe it. But to know it, though, man, it deal with having to have some type of experience of it. So when you see it spelled, and you see the spelling, the meaning is the 4 letters. That's what it means. It means the tetragrammaton, the 4 L's, the 4 right angles, 90 degrees, L. Because we always dealing with 360. Need you to understand that part. No beginning, no end is always in play. When you get that it mean I am, and it's pronounced you got a dilemma. Because you know you, don't you? I hope you know. If you don't know nothing else, I hope you know I am. Hope you know you. Because what you're dealing with is somebody claiming to be you. So you dealing with God, look at the picture, and then you got somebody, an enemy, want to impersonate God. Look at the picture. But you got to know who God is. Or they imitate you, and they watch you, and they imitate you, because you the light of the world. It can't get no light without from you. I hate to have to admit it, but this is the case. But you don't know who you are. And your worldview and your values come from the adversaries of your Elohim, your ancestors, your mothers and fathers. Your worldview now is just like the people who enslaved your ancestors. So you see the world as a patriarchy, just like they do. That's why every time you say God, you say he. And you've made it applying it to a gender and not the function. The higher principle, if you look above the gender, the higher principle of he is function. Yeah. That's the higher principle of he. It's not a gender. And we dealing with the most high, not the most low. But when you say he, you bring it to the most lower application because you are seeking to validate the patriarchy in your worldview. But a higher level of awareness of existence is no need for our existence to be validated. It is miraculous enough from here, from this vantage point. We gonna break the spell today. You got the Lord and what he's doing, and what we dealing with is some imposters, some impersonators. Everything you do in the light, man, they try to do in the dark. How do that play out? Everything you do naturally, it's just naturally in you. Man, these people gonna try to monetize. Hey man, you get some divine knowledge and wisdom that come from within you, cause that's how mama feeds you, from within herself. Man, these people get this divine knowledge and weaponize it. It's just their nature. Cause they not gonna get a praise and the homage where it's due. They gonna take it and throw it down. They gonna turn it upside down. Nigga, they'll tell you they got this law and this understanding from something that came out the sky before they tell you it came from your people. And they took it and turned it upside down. They'll tell you people came from the dust of the ground before they tell you people came from a mother. With a straight face. This how much they hate her and their religion. You think it's just a natural thing. No, this is what is being described to you in your book when it said that the woman was persecuted by the dragon. That's what it meant. Her and her seed, wisdom is justified of her children. The serpent has enmity between the woman and her seed. That's talking about the matriarchy that was here before the patriarchy was set up. And according to the Bible, the patriarchy is the result of a curse. Because Eve learned something that the Lord, the enemy of your ancestors, the slave master, you know, the slave master got to keep his slaves ignorant. But Eve representing wisdom, and you can't get around it. Man, she learned something. How you know she learned something? Because that's what eat mean. And ain't nothing but female trees bear fruit. So if you're dealing with an enemy, what would represent the tree of life for you, what would the enemy tell you it is? So, okay, she gets some understanding, then she give Adam and he eat. That means she teach him. And the Lord hate for you to know stuff he don't want you to know. Oh, he hate that. Because if you know what he know, then you going to be like him. And the Lord, see, the Elohim made you intentionally in their image and likeness. But the Lord, the slave, master, he don't never want you to be like him. He can't be your slave master, your Lord then. So this is the problem. Now, what is this other tree? Man, that's your family tree. Man, he don't want you to eat from. That's the tree of life. Your family tree. It's lit too. You know, like that tree you decorate and put lights on with the presents up under. Yeah, your family tree lit like that. It might be where that stuff come from. How you symbolize your family tree. It's a bush now though. It's a little baby bush because you don't remember your ancestors. We don't remember our ancestors. We remember Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. But we can go back 4,000 years and 5,000 years with Jesus' ancestors. But with our own, we got a baby bush in comparison. It's still lit though. Catch it if you can. It's still lit. It got soul. It got light. It's light as soul. And the presents that you got, the gifts that you got wrapped up in what's called the present. And the tree is a female tree. Only female tree bear fruit. That's mama. That you getting the game from. So they wouldn't acknowledge divine queen mother. They would call her a whore. And they wouldn't call her son, God, most high, representative of God, most high, the expression of God, most high in the flesh. They would call her son a dragon or a snake. Because they are at war with her and her seed, and they are villain. They done try to take her crown off her head. A third of 12 is 4. And so they do it with 4 ghost spells. They got a spell. And this is how they sweep her crown off. That's how it manifests. And the dragon's tail is not T-I-A-L, T-A-L-E. This brings you back into the constellation Draco. And serpent's kaput and serpent's clawda. The serpent's head and the serpent's tail. This is our constellations. It represents the changing of the North Star. Because you got the poles that change position, and when the poles change position, it's a new age. And what you see around the North Star, including Polaris, the one that you see right now, is the constellation Draco, the dragon. It's always around the North Star. But this is gonna have to. I mean, man, I can't. You have symbols that you just assume are evil just because they told you they're evil, with no understanding of where these symbols came from or what they represent. They just said it's evil, so you said amen. The woman is cursed. If she is cursed to be under the authority of the man, right? He is to rule over her, and this is her curse. What was her position before that curse? And remember, she ate, and then she gave to Adam, and then he ate. She taught Adam. That's what that literally means. What was her position before she got cursed? Why do you believe in this curse? A curse. Now, you got this blessing that's given in chapter 1. Nothing forbidden. It don't say worship me, do this or else, sing to me, pray to me. None of that. You don't even include this part of the book. You go right to the curse. Man, listen, see, we all was born under sin because of this curse right here. No. If you are applying it, you talking about the Lord and Adam and his descendants. What about the people in chapter 1? This them and this they that already know some stuff and ain't nothing been forbidden to them, and they operate as a kingdom and priesthood just like the kingdom and priesthood they come from. What about them? And they already in the image and likeness of God. They don't have to get no game outside of themselves to get to that point. They made like that. To that point. They made like that. And it's already a plural number of them. What about them? Now you see why the Bible only traces Adam and Eve and their lineage only? Because who is their God? The Lord. And what do the Lord have the descendants of Adam and Eve doing? What is introduced to the world through the Lord and his descendants? You get your death, you get your curse, you get your sin, you get your genocide, your slavery, you get your religion, you get your sacrifice, drink the blood, eat all the Abrahamic religion. You got all of that from the Lord. And the Bible tells you that from Adam and Eve, they were slaughtering. Yeah, from Adam and Cain and Abel. Yeah, from out the muscle. You know the tree by its fruit. So you got one that's represented in life and life giving, and you got another that's represented. You got to kill me some, bring me some blood. Some got to die. It's just what the Lord is about. He's about death. He represents death and the dead. But we talking ignorance. He can only rule you in Babylon, in confusion. In this state is where your adversary set up shop. When you know who you are, he can't set up shop with the bullshit. He can't threaten you with no eternal hell fire, because you're going to ask him, show me what day hell was made in your book. Let's see it. You got the creation narrative, and in the creation narrative, from verse 1 to the 33rd verse, where everything is complete, it don't mention hell being created. On neither one of them days. It don't mention no Lord either, though. Or Jesus. It do mention us and in our image and our likeness, and we have established that this us is a kingdom. We've established that. This us is an eternal kingdom. That means they've been operating. Nothing spooky about it. It's a split in the kingdom. One of the sons went and set up a rival kingdom. We ain't saying it ain't people that ain't out here, but it's some people out here that don't know nothing. Not like the Elohim, no. So the Lord goes with some people that don't know nothing, and the only way he gonna be able to rule over them is in their ignorance. They can't never know nothing. This is why the tree and the female tree bear fruit. Only female trees bear fruit, and the fruit of this tree is forbidden. Because this tree and the fruit of it represent wisdom, inner wisdom. We just gonna reframe the narrative. This is why the Lord don't want them to know nothing. Slaves ain't gonna be slaves and work like they want folk like you want them to work if they know too much. And he put Adam in the garden to work it. He didn't tell Adam to be fruitful, multiply, have dominion, rule. Adam is his slave, the very opposite, the polar opposite of dominion and rule. The Lord is still very busy, the very opposite, the polar opposite of dominion and rule. The Lord is still very busy, the opposite of rest or being at rest. The Lord is very busy. But because they capitalize the letters, the way that it's spelled, when you saw Lord, you said good, automatic, just because of the way it's spelled. But the experience of it is this: the Lord is intentionally trying to keep these people ignorant. He does not bless them. Matter of fact, he cursed them, threatened them with death if they disobey, and he cursed them. It said that the serpent is the devil, and it's the devil disguised as the serpent that deceives Eve, but yet the Lord punished the serpent and not the devil. To the woman, you're going to be placed under the rule of the man and greatly increase, multiply your pain in childbearing. But she ain't never had no kids. She ain't never felt the pain of childbearing. She's never experienced it. So how can you increase the pain of it? So when she have children or however it feel, you're gonna say, okay, see, that's what I meant right there. But how is that an increase in the pain of childbearing? She's never had any children. She's never experienced it. You saying that it was gonna be painless at first, but because of the curse, this is why it's painful. But your book say, I'm gonna increase your pain in childbearing. Man, you can't increase pain that a person ain't never experienced. You can only convince them that the pain that they are experiencing when they have the experience, that would have caused them pain anyway, because she don't know what pain is according to the story. She's what? But some kind of way it's gonna be increased. And the curse is her desire is gonna be for her husband. He gonna rule over her. This is the Lord. And his curse, and he put it's enmity between the serpent seed and the woman's seed, not the man's seed. So he done cursed her, and he done sick the serpent on her too. This is the experience. This is what we experiencing. Because in one part, you got man made to be in the image and likeness of God. And then you got the Lord saying this is a problem. And if they eat from this tree and know of the good and evil and the fruit of it, they're going to be like God. They're going to be like us. And I don't want that. Which one is it? Are they like the Elohim? Is it already built in? Or do they got to eat from the tree first and then be like because I thought they was already like, yeah, but they not like the Lord. So let's look at what happened, man. So the Lord say, yeah, y'all is cursing and y'all can't eat from the tree of life and live forever. Chapter 1 don't mention death. It say rest, but you have to know something to understand that rest means that you wake up. The place of the skull, I'm going to take away the sting of death. You got to remember, there was no death in the first place. It was rest. But death wasn't never spoken of. A renewal of the mind. See it like a baby. It's not a death, it's a rebirth. You got to come into the kingdom like a baby. Coming into the kingdom and you ain't dying, you being born. You have to look at it in Hebrew from the other side, from right to left. But they turned it upside down. It's all about the death and the burial and the resurrection. Man, it's about the conception. Remember, we're going to give you the ghost spell in order. Start with the conception in the kingdom. That's where the stories start. That don't have nothing to do with no book. The stories start with a conception that don't have nothing to do with no book. But that is the beginning of the story, the kingdom. The Lord is a slave master, and the book is about how your slave master present himself to you as your God. The Lord is a slave master. The book is how your slave master present himself to you as your God. The kingdom that went to war was your ancestors and the matriarchy that you come from. Your people spread out all over this realm, and the war that took place against your people. And they set their kingdom up on top of yours, but not above yours. They set their kingdom up on top of yours to thinking they could block out the light. Because the light that they thought we was talking about is the stars. But the light that we really was talking about is the light from in here. We don't got to be able to see the stars for them to line up with us and what we do. And we observe this and know this whether we can see the stars or not. Because the light cut on from within. Mama teacher. Mama teacher from within herself, not from an outside source. This is wisdom, divine. And a lot of people, it's hard for them to catch a hold and grasp a hold to it. It don't mean it's it's not time for you to get it yet. The seed is just being planted. It'll bear fruit when it's time. if it's time. But this is a sharing, this is a feeding. We eating together. We outside and we chilling. Never thought about that. Let me look at some of these comments, because y'all know I go to roll and I ain't looked at none comment. Anybody don't understand what's being said when we speak of God the Mother, Divine Mother, and why the institution of Christianity, not the Bible, but Christianity, denies it. Christianity is anti-kingdom. They represent this imitation kingdom. How you know? Because Christianity is a religion. 45,000 different denominations. A kingdom is a family. And what we are talking about is, in this family, the way that this family operate, there are elders. Nothing spooky about it. The elders of the family are the mighty ones of it. This is how your family work. Your family line, your mother's uncles, sisters, cousins, nephews, these are royal titles, divine titles. Ain't no men and women in the kingdom, because only mothers and fathers and husbands and wives and sisters. That's all that's in it. That means the people know who they are and what they are. Everybody. And everybody's working together to leave behind this legacy and let it be known. And they spreading this game, sprinkling game everywhere they go, and representing this game everywhere they put it down. So you see them lined up with the constellation. Nah, you definitely on point, for real, for real. Yeah, we going back to look at the North. Start looking into the North Stars, y'all. And you'll get to these constellations. And 88 is they dealing with magic. All right, let's just put it like, I don't want to put no spook on it, but they are showing you their hand. When they say it's 88 constellations, when you read the 33rd verse of the Bible, you start understanding some of their signs and symbols. They just showing you their hand, or letting you know about the hidden hand that's involved. The Democrat and Republican game, they're two sides of the same coin. They just playing good guy, bad guy routine. Both of the actors are playing their role, performing for you. Two sides of the same coin. Neither one of them represent you or us or the people. Neither coming for you. Two sides of the same coin. Neither one of them represent you or us or the people. Neither Republican or Democrat, conservative or liberal. Neither one represent the people. And we are aware of this at this point. Oh man. But this I'm stressing the Divine Mother the way I am, because this is revolution. This is raising the consciousness of the people, and it starts from within, the way we see ourselves, especially the women. Shout out to Thinker and Rhea and Christine, Carol, and Divinely Gifted, the goddesses that's putting it down and remembering who and what they are. And I think it's good that it come from them. The way that they doing it and going about it, I love. You can't. Why do you have such a problem with the concept of God the Mother? Do you realize that how they vilified and demonized this concept, the concept of mother being divine, is evil? Do you understand when they say the dragon is persecuting the woman, that this is how that plays out? When they tell you ain't no divine mother and I fight you about it, even though it's clearly in the book, and when they tell you there is no divine mother based on their interpretation, that's the same as the dragon sweeping her crown. You denying her role, her position, the symbol for what it mean. You deny her position, the symbol for what it mean. You deny it. Also, you can be right and validate and justify your worldview. You demonize the concept and you defend it. So you can be right. It's not true. Nobody was made from dust ever. Ever. In the history, this is when you say, listen, I need all the Christians to hear me. When you stand in front of people and tell people that they was made from dust by the Lord, it represent how far the people who gave you this go to deny the mother. That's how far they'll go. And you don't see it because they sprinkle spook on it and spelled it with all capital letters. But what did you experience though? Were you born? And that's how you know what it means when we talk about the Most High and where you come from and how you was created and made in the image and likeness of. We don't understand that based on no spelling. What's wrong with you? You experienced that. That's how you know what it means. And when we deal with dust, we dealing with deteriorating bodies. Deteriorating. That's what we talking about. Dead. That's how you get dust. It's dead skin. It's dead bodies. That's what it is. That's the experience of it. It don't represent the life in the living when we deal with dust. So regardless of how they spelled the one that's dealing with the dust and they spell his title, he's still dealing with dust, baby. Ain't no mother involved, ain't no light involved. What he done created got the breath of life, but no light. And the life is in the light, remember? But he's working with the dead. Ain't no death, so they're alive. Now you starting to put together your zombie movies. But they talking about how they see you, how they see us. It's a mockery. And they saying that the zombies is getting faster. But they mocking us, saying they starting to wake up. Everything is upside down in your perception. Because you don't know which way up is. In is up. So you don't know how to look at stuff. So when you was thinking to see God, and even though you say God is a spirit, you still had an image in your mind of an old man in a golden chair. Upside down. You didn't envision the baby in the mother's lap, the mother being the throne. You can't see that. But if you see it like a baby, based on that experience as a baby, What represent the Most High to the baby? Look at the picture. You see how your perception is upside down? How do you explain this to people? You don't. It's gonna make you look a certain way on the outside, but on the inside, what they're gonna see is you upside down on the outside. But your perception is from a higher vantage point than they can conceive of. From the Most High is where you see things. But the way it looks to them is the lowest of the low. So when the priests that live off the land, the priests look crazy to you because it's concrete everywhere. If it wasn't concrete everywhere, your priests wouldn't look so crazy living off the land. I call the homeless your priests. They represent the Most High because of how they live off the land. But it's concrete everywhere, so it look crazy. These are your priests. They represent how we are seen by the Most High. Catch it if you can. If you seeing everything backwards and upside down, I said, the ones that represent the Most High here are your homeless. Homeless. And guess what your superstars and your billionaires, if N is up and the lights is in, guess what the stars and the personification of stars represent? But you keep thinking we talking about a religion or a belief. We talking principles, man. I know you see everything upside down because your highest, biggest, most prettiest buildings are banks built to house money. It's not built to house people. Your biggest, tallest, prettiest buildings are to house money, not people. So yeah, I know what you about. I know what you say. So yeah, I know what you about. I know what you say. But I know what you're about. If it's still as greedy as you've always been, still as violent as you've always been, still as deceitful as you've always been, and you're still able to dress it up and make it pretty as you always have. But the ones who can see you are here. We can see you. We can see you. Can't hide. No distraction. The distractions is just playing out. People is seeing the zombies are getting faster. Yeah, y'all. So yeah, as you keep awakening, keep searching, you're not crazy, you're not alone. Revolution ain't never been pretty, but that's what's happening. You don't think revolutions include religions? You don't think people have ever woken up and threw off a religion? You don't think that'll never happen? You think this the first time this has happened? How do you think what do you think are the tools of colonizers and enslavers? But to tell you that they are your gods. So all your gods look like them. Look up Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Odin, Thor, Frey, all your Jesus on all your gods are stars in their personification, and it look like your colonizers. Your concept of God came from your colonizers. They tell you about the Ethiopian Bible, and then they'll show you that they got their hand in it because it's 88 books. And I really need you to look up 88. I really need you to get it. That they showing you they got their hand in it all. That's why the light gotta cut on from within. Where they ain't got their hand at. Can't get to. Because the light that's going to come to you and be revealed to you is coming from your subconscious. You can't even get to it in your conscious mind. It's going to come from in here. And it's going to contradict everything they told. Everything. The light that cut on from in here, shit. People going to be asking you how you know what you know. Because I quit letting my enemies dictate reality to me. And to you, it look crazy. Everything do at first. But watch as it take hold and more people wake up and come out of this system. You don't owe to exist. Work is always going to be a part of existence, but it's not working to pay bills. We'll get there. First thing first, you are an eternal representation of something we don't have no description for, that we don't know when it started, and we don't see no ending of it. Somewhere in all this time, somebody in your family tree woke up to the concept of I am. And it grew. And they passed it on. And this family grew. And a family that's seen as sacred and divine, because we holding it together on purpose. Everybody around us ain't. They got baby mamas and baby daddies. But us, yeah, this grows into a kingdom, a culture. And they understand things. They know things. This is why they got their might. And this is how they growing based on what they know. And they prove to you that they know things by showing you those stars and being able to predict where they're going to be and when they're going to be. These are the symbols that they use. These are the symbols that they use to represent the knowledge they have. What happened when the knowledge get lost? But you still got the symbols. 45,000 different denominations. That's what happened. What you mean? Slavery and genocide is good. In the name of the Lord, in the name of Jesus, we dropping these bombs. Here you talking about. That's what you get. The woman can't speak in here. Ain't no divine mother. That's what you get. Jesus is God. Jesus is the Son of God. Now it's the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost. That's what you get. Confusion. Babylon. So yeah, man, I just gotta put it out here that it ain't no spook. The people that put the spook on it, it ain't no. It's not necessarily spook in the book. It's the spook in the people that taught you the book. They worship this system. They worship the adversaries of your ancestors. I'm gonna just make it plain. So they taught you the book backwards on purpose. It's intentional. Can't stress it enough. When you go into these churches and they tell you they gonna preach the gospel and they gonna teach the gospel, I really want you to understand that the book don't start there. And if they claim to be teaching you out a book, don't let them start from the middle or end of it. If you're gonna teach me this book, you need to start from the beginning. I don't care nothing about what Paul said. If you're gonna say Jesus is God, and then Jesus in the story say he has a God, I'm not taking what Paul said over what Jesus said about who he is. If he didn't say he was God, I'm going to my God and your God. He's praying to God, asking God to take this from. So if I can get from the supposedly in the narrative, this is Jesus himself. Why would I let you take me to what Peter or Paul or Isaiah said about him? What reality do that make sense? When I can tell you about me, but you're gonna tell me to somebody else what they said I mean hold more weight than what I'm saying about myself. And you have both to compare. But so that you don't have to admit the truth and say it's a clear contradiction, you just say what Jesus said about himself don't matter. It's what Paul and Peter said to who Jesus was. And it's who Isaiah said Jesus was. We're not even going by what you're not finna sit in front. Why would I entertain that? When I tell people when they want to understand about Jesus, I let them know what this story means. As far as the claim that to be God, I ain't tripping. Because I'm making the same claim about me. Making the same claim about you. The express image of the Most High. You looking at it. But it ain't nothing spooky about it. I'm just talking about my ancestors. Don't get mad at me because you don't see yours like that. No, man. So in the sense of my God, I'ma always have mothers and fathers, no matter how powerful or famous or how much I know, or you think I know, or I think I know. I'ma always have something higher than me. Yeah. It's just the order thing. I'm cool with that. I'm alright with that. Cause it manifests as mothers and fathers and wives, grandmothers and grandfathers. That's how the Most High manifests for me. That's all right with me. And then I get to get a renewed mind. My mind, I get to get a renewed and see everything new. Man, nah, I'm cool. I ain't tripping. That's right. We are the original God. I'm just saying. The concept God come from us. The concept family, the concept kingdom, mathematics, the number zero, the science, astronomy come from us. We taught the world, but we did not teach the world how to steal, kill, and destroy. That wasn't our thing. Because all of the races say, well, how was we able to conquer your people if y'all knew so much? Because we wasn't experts on stealing, killing, and destroying. We wasn't experts on stealing, killing, and destroying and being deceitful. That's not what peace and knowledge and wisdom and understanding, that's not what it looked like. Knowledge, wisdom, and understanding really actually manifests as peace. So you were able to conquer because you lack knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, but you are very violent and very deceitful. The treaties kept getting broken, and they tell you the story that the United States will make a treaty, and then the people would renege and go against the treaty. But it was the other way around. People was trying everything they could to be at peace with y'all. After every time y'all broke the treaty, our people would offer you another treaty and try it again and try it again and try it again. You broke every one because they peaceful. And they thinking we gonna knowledge and wisdom and understanding, and ain't no way these people gonna be this deceitful, this savage. But after a while, you can't get around the fact that we gonna have to fight these people till there ain't no more is left to fight them. Ain't no peace. They don't want peace. They don't ever come in peace. They come with the sword. They come to bring it and break up families. That is what they're about. And they talking about family lines, period. You can't even remember your family line no more. You can remember Jesus' family line. Trace it all the way back to Adam. But your family tree, nigga, I bet not catch you remembering them. You got any altar set up, it better be Jesus on it. Put a picture of your ancestors on that altar if you want to. And you're going to hell. And if it was far back long enough, you might lose your life. They trying to bring that back. They putting it back in the schools, y'all. They say, hey, man, we're going to make it mandatory that you read the Bible to these children in school. Because every 20 years, 20, 30 years, they re-indoctrinate every generation. You see the same movies coming back out every 20 years. You see the same movies coming back out every 20 years. Remake of the song. Oh, they got it down to a science. Why every 20 years? Because, you got one group of people graduating and going into the society and workforce, so they need their programming to be fresh. The updated version of very old programming, they just need to make sure they get it. Because each generation is programmed. Turn your TV off. That's how they program you. They call them program. They put it in your face. The Super Bowl is for you to sit down and be programmed. You waiting on the commercials. They done already made it that you watch this game for you can watch the commercials so you can be programmed. Told what to buy, what's popular, and it's your programming. You'll get to understand when you start breaking this stuff down how very little original thinking we actually do on a day-to-day. The thinking has been done for you. The books have been written. The scholars have already thought about this stuff. You don't have to think about it. Just read what the ones that already thought about it got to say. Why would you go watch those stars yourself when you got all these people watching the stars for you to tell you what it means? But how you know what you gonna see when you watch them? It's just for you to see. That nobody else gonna see but you.